Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems, and ballyho. To all my fans of chaos all across this flat earth, my name is Mr. Rotella, and I come to you every Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern for all your misinformation needs. Make sure to hit that Rumble like button. Make sure to hit that Rumble follow button. We are coming to you live within the dome with 9,400 and something or other subscribers. Continuing our YouTube channel Deletion Rebuild. And if this is your very first time watching the Dome, we stream in the moment history, and we are documenting the rise or the demise of the New World Order. Welcome in, Dome. How we doing? How we doing? Wednesday night. Woo! Wednesday night with a Trump national address in just about 2 hours. My producers are telling me in my ear right now, 2 hours until Trump's national address, where I think he's going to announce that the Epstein files are a hoax, affordability is a hoax, and we're going to be going to war with Venezuela. So stick around for that, everybody. What else are we going to be getting into tonight, Mr. Rotella? I'll tell you what else we're getting into tonight. We're going to check out James Fishback running for governor out here in the free state of Florida, going up against Byron Donalds in the Republican primary. James Fishback just had an interview that he put on his social media today that I want to check out. I think this Fishback guy, he might get my vote above Byron Donalds. You guys know I've brought Byron Donalds inside the Dome for many, many years, all the way back to when we first watched him at CPAC. But I think I might be liking Mr. Fishback a little bit more. We're going to check him out tonight. Then we got a preview of the Melania movie that's coming out. Doesn't that sound fun? We're going to check that out. And then I'm thinking between then and when Trump goes live at 9 o'clock, Candace Owens, yeah, we're going to get back in the drama. Candace Owens, I think this will put a nice end cap on the drama for us. Was on Piers Morgan. She's been talking about these conspiracy theories for 3 months. She just met with Erica Kirk 2 days ago. She kind of came back to her show yesterday a little bit lackadaisical. I think this is the first interview that she's really been pressed on. So we're going to check out some Candace Owens, and then we got President Trump coming. But before we do any of that, my friends, let's go inside the world-famous Dome chat and see who's joining us. Well, hi, everybody. Who we got inside the chat tonight? We got Elite Domer Finno, Elite Domer Ronnie, Elite Domer Florida Pats, Elite Domer Maggie, Ballyho Maggie. Dome Stop Believin'. I have not got the package yet, Dome Stop Believin'. Dome Stop Believin' sent us a package all the way from the UK. I have not received it yet, miss. We got Total Horse Channel inside the chat, Elite Domer Brad, Elite Domer Finno. Nice to see you. Finno says, whoever goes in a room full of lawyers and no cameras allowed in it is not good. I agree, Finno. I agree. Maggie says, know a number of gift membership, says Maggie. Taz Bichet says, here for the drama, birthday was a success. Painting Christmas presents in the back row tonight. Ballyho Taz Bichet. Taz Bichet celebrated her birthday inside the Dome just a few days ago. Elite Domer Amy joining us. Elite Domer M. Wiles. Daywalker Stripes joining us. Stream cheers, Daywalker Stripes. I think someone asked me somewhere inside the chat how we feel, and I have been a little bit under the weather the last few days. Having some beers with the chat last night didn't help Mr. Rotella feel any better. that's for sure. So we're back to having some tea this evening. Thanks for asking. I think that was Florida Pats. We got Aram inside the chat, Ballyho Aram. Maggie comes in with 5 gifted subs to the Dome for Christmas. Thank you so much, Maggie. M. Wiles gets one. Daywalker Stripes gets one. Dome Stop Believin'. Taz Mache, Total Horse Channel. ballyho. Can we get some ballyhos in the chat for Maggie, everybody? Ballyho. Elite Domer Eric joining us. Ballyho Eric. Maggie, also known as the Day Boss's wife. Everyone definitely say ballyhos to Maggie inside the chat. Founding Fathers joining us. Elite Domer Shaka Doug inside the chat. Elite Domer Kami Crusher. What's up, Kami Crusher? Hungry Planet, Dustin. Wow, hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
Fino 80 invested $20.
Well, there we go. Finno with a $20 dome investment says, let's go, Drama. Oh, you know it, Finno. We'll get there. We'll get there. I accidentally closed Fishback's social media page. 1 second. Let me find what I want to watch with you guys tonight. This guy really just came on my radar screen. So how about we do this? We'll watch his like introduction video, like a 2-minute spot, and then we'll watch the interview that he had today. That sounds like a good plan, Mr. Rotella. Awesome. Let me put that in order. Okay. Finno, thank you so much for that $20 dome investment, my man. I really appreciate that, sir. Total Horse Channel says, thanks so much, Maggie. Love it. Love it. Brad comes in with a $17 dome investment. That's the way to start a stream, baby, right there. Oh, well, I mean, in that case, I'm out of here. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you in a moment. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Did I get you? Did I get you? Dome Stop Believin' says, Maggie, not as much as you, says Dome Stop Believin'. Ballyho, Elite Domer.
Brad WL invested $17.
Oh, it's about time, robot. Thank you. Thank you, Brad. $17. He says, happy 17th. Oh, by the way, Finno, a $20 dome investment. A very fine dome investment. Brad, a $17 investment. Not as fine as a $20 dome investment, but thank you, Brad. Ballyho. Shaka Doug says, where is... I'm not going to say your name. I'm not going to say her name, Shaka. If I say her name, she will come up and she'll be here. She always makes an appearance. Let's see. Dome Stop Believin'. Elite Domer says, woohoo! It sounds so good, says Dome Stop Believin'. Chat's in a good mood tonight. I can tell the chat's in a good mood tonight. How do we feel? We don't need to start yet. We're honestly, guys, I'm kind of just killing time until 9 o'clock tonight. So we can do a lot of chatting with the chat. How do we feel about Dan Bongino just announced today that he's leaving the FBI at the beginning of January, I believe? Dan Bongino leaving the FBI. Are we happy about that? Are we not happy about that? Do we think that he actually did anything while he was inside the FBI? I have no idea. The last thing I heard about Dan Bongino was there was no there when it came to the Epstein files, and that's about all I needed to hear. Dustin doesn't know, Ballyho Dustin, I'm ready to move to Canada, says Elite Domer M. Wiles. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, M. Wiles. Elite Domer Sharon's here says he's the first of many. Do you think we're going to see an exodus from the Trump administration? I don't know. Maybe closer to midterms if things don't start, going more our way, maybe, but I don't know. Shaka Doug says, what? Where is he going? Back to his podcast? I would assume back to his podcast. When the announcement came out, 1 second. Can I actually drink a spot of tea? 1 second. When the announcement did come out, the Rumble CEO retweeted Dan Bongino's announcement with just the big eye emoji. So I'm assuming he's coming back to Rumble, which would be very, very good for Rumble. Before that guy left, he was getting 100,000 concurrent live stream viewers. Concurrent means, well, you guys know what concurrent means. We got one of the smartest chats on all of Rumble. But that means 100,000 people actually watching him live. Kind of like what we have right now. We got 100,000 people in here. Don't Stop Believin' says, very sophisticated. That's me. Did you see the pinky up? I always drink with my pinky up. I wonder what people at the Cherry Pocket think about me when I drink with my pinky up. I actually noticed the other day while I was hanging out at the Pocket that I'm the one with the accent. So that was an interesting realization the other day. Oh, I'm the one that sounds different. Founding Father says, Owen said his sources said he's coming back to Rumble, says Founding Fathers. That is great to hear. I hope he does well. The more people that do well on Rumble, the better. I mean, we lost Dan Bonagino, who was only streaming to Rumble. We lost, Charlie Kirk in the assassination, who was also only streaming to Rumble. So, I mean, these people are either trying to take out Rumble or they're trying to take out our country. I'm not sure. I'm more concerned about Rumble. Elite Domer M. Wiles says, let's buy some Rumble stock. It's low and Danny B might make it go up. What's it at right now? M. Wiles? What's it at right now? Total Horse Channel Elite Domer said he's a major investor of Rumble. That is true. Elite Domer Don't Stop Believin' says Candace Owens saying a lot about Rumble recently too. I have a suspicion she'll be moving over soon too, says Don't Stop Believin'. I've noticed in the last 2 days that she's been getting what's called editor picks on Rumble. That's when you first click in to the website. It's the videos that they show at the top. We sometimes get those when we play video games, believe it or not. We do get Rumble editors picks every now and then. Ballyho Rumble, thank you so much. So I've been having that suspicion too, Don't Stop Believin', because I've never seen her get editor picks before. Elite Domer Habs says, I didn't vote for any of this, says Habs. I know, Habs. I know. We got to see what happens, my man. Okay. You know what? Let's get started. I do want to watch some of that Candace Owens with Dan Bonagino. I want to get into Fishback, and let's find out. Let's start the way that we always start, with a little bit of PJ's Picks.
Here's a quick instructional video on how to get the best out of your Rumble. Making sure that you're live, so you can see bottom left corner live. When it's red dotted, that means you're live. Let's make sure you're watching in the highest quality. There's a cog on the right hand side. Click that cog, make sure it's on the highest setting possible. There we are, over and out. Back to you, Mr. Rotella. Bye now.
Remember, my friends, PJ's Picks brought to you by Methylene Blue. If you would like your own bottle of Methylene Blue, you can go to thealexjonesstore.com/dome and pick up a bottle of Methylene Blue today. In fact, my friends, if you buy anything from thealexjonesstore.com/dome, you get what you want. Mr. Rotella gets 10% of that order. We are an official affiliate of the Alex Jones Store here inside the Dome. One of the coolest things we've ever been a part of. Stream cheers to the cause. Let's find out. Oh, there we go. Who died today? I was on the wrong page.
December 17th, 1903.
Is this when the Wright brothers flew for the first time?
Near Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, Wilbur and Orville Wright conduct the first successful manned powered flight of the airplane. The brothers achieved the pioneering feat with their experimental craft dubbed the Wright Flyer. 1957. The United States successfully test fires the Atlas intercontinental ballistic missile for the first time. Initially designed to carry a nuclear warhead, the Atlas later boosts America's space program into orbit. 1830. Simón Bolívar, the South American patriot who led revolutions against Spain's colonial rule, dies in Colombia. And 1969.
Tiny Tim. Man, did that guy make everything out of his 15 minutes of fame, huh?
Before reality TV, there was Tiny Tim. The singer marries his fiancée, Miss Vicky, on NBC's Tonight Show, an event seen by some 50 million viewers.
That's insane.
Today in history, December 17th. Mike Gracia, The Associated Press.
Good for you, Tiny Tim. Congratulations, Tiny Tim. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Here with a little preview of what we could be seeing tonight, we got Tucker Carlson and Judge Andrew Napolitano. Follow me into the Dome Theater.
Go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
The cat cam is ready to go, as you guys can see. Cat cam ready to go. Elite Number Hab says, now that Bonagino, the Fed, has proven me right, I'm officially accepting apologies from any domers that doubted me, says Elite Domer Habs.
Is Trump going to start a war in Venezuela?
I don't know. I don't know when this program airs, the one that we're on right now. This thing's maybe live.
We're live now, and then
okay.
It'll be posted immediately. So now,
my sense is, I don't know the answer. I've certainly been on the phone a lot about it. I have no power. I'm a podcaster, but I'm very interested. And so here's what I know.
I think it's going to happen,
which is that members of Congress were briefed yesterday that a war is coming, and it'll be announced in the address to the nation tonight at 9:00 by the president. Who knows, by the way, if that will actually happen? I don't know. And I never want to overstate what I know, which is pretty limited in general. But a member of Congress told me that this morning.
Jeez.
Is Trump going to start a war?
Do you freaking believe it, my friends? Do you freaking believe it? Didn't we vote for no new wars? Is that? I definitely remember that on the campaign trail. You know, when we dedicated tens of thousands of hours of our lives watching every single Trump rally. I mean, I know the campaign promise is pretty backwards and forwards. Elite Number M. Wiles says Tucker for next FBI director, says M. Wiles. Well, it's not FBI. It's like Dan Bonagino wasn't even the FBI director. He was the dude that was in charge of the building. You know, I mean, he was the guy with all the keys. Elite Number Hab says the real question is, has the USA ever been the good guys in any war in the last 100 years, says Habs. Ooh. All right, I want to get into this James Fishback guy. James Fishback running for Florida governor. This is his opening. Hey, everybody, this is who I am. We want to watch this, and then I want to watch his interview today. What's up, UFO Johnny? Welcome in.
My name is James Fishback.
1 second. That's loud. Do I have this gain on, by the way? Let me see. I do not. Okay, good. Professional streamer Mr. Rotella loves to make the audience deaf.
And I'm running to succeed Ron DeSantis as Florida's next Republican governor. I'm running for Florida governor so I can make life more affordable for you and your family. Easier to afford groceries, to buy a home, to raise a family, and when it's all said and done, to retire with dignity. I'll do that by stopping the H-1B scam so our workers, especially our college grads, can get jobs again.
Well,
I'll tell
Blackstone,
Airbnb, and foreign investors that no, in Florida, you can't buy our homes because our homes are for families.
Well, there
and I'll
we
stop
go.
the construction of any AI data center that threatens to raise our electricity bills or poison our water supply. And I'll completely and totally eliminate property taxes for every Florida resident, because in America, you don't rent your home from the government. You own it.
One day I hope to not be paying property taxes.
Free and clear. Nowadays, not all Republicans are the same. If a Republican politician supports the H-1B scam that fires our workers, he can't be our next governor. If he goes out and supports the building of AI data centers that threaten our electric bills and our water supply, he can't be our next governor. And if he goes to Congress and does nothing for us but makes millions of dollars trading stocks for himself, he can't be our next governor. Congressman Byron Donalds can't be our next governor
he's going
because
after
he won't
Donalds.
fight for Florida like Ron DeSantis has. I will. I'll fight to preserve Governor DeSantis' wins by keeping Florida free from DEI, radical transgenderism, Soros-backed prosecutors, child predators, voter fraud, and the millions of illegals that invaded our country on Kamala Harris's watch. I'll do that because unlike Byron Donalds...
Elite Never Have says, I like what Fishback is saying, but he does look too much like Mike Johnson for my comfort. Oh, why did you have to ever say that, Habs? I was starting to like the guy a lot.
I'm not a politician. I'm an investor and a businessman, I stood up to Wall Street, I sued the Federal Reserve, and I filed a landmark brief with the Supreme Court defending President Trump's right to fire corrupt federal officials. I started Incubate Debate, a free high school debate league for thousands of kids across Florida so they could learn how to debate, discuss, and grow as Americans.
That's cool.
I love our state. I am a fourth-generation Floridian. My great-grandfather fought in World War I and then owned a small hotel on Fort Lauderdale Beach. My grandfather fought in World War II and ran 750 head of cattle in Okeechobee. My father proudly drove the city bus in Broward County, where I was born and raised. I went to Florida public schools from kindergarten to graduation. Even though I grew up in South Florida, I now call the Panhandle home. I'm an unapologetic Christian who believes that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.
Damn,
and I'm a proud
right
American
in the video.
who will never apologize for our history. In the coming months, I'm going to meet as many Florida voters.
He shows a statue of the Confederate general.
Apologize for our history. In the coming months, I'm going to meet as many Florida voters as I can, where they live, work, and pray. I'll visit all 67 counties because Florida's next governor has to be someone you can see, talk to, and even debate with. I look forward to seeing you soon. My name is James Fishback, and I approve this message because Florida is our home, America is our birthright, and we will never let them steal it from us.
Damn right we won't. I like it. Let's see. Not a canned, not a scripted thing. Let's go to an interview that was just released today in full. This is him talking on the local Tampa channel. Let's make sure we don't kill your guys' ears. Maggie says that is someone to look into and perhaps back, says Maggie. I agree. If you look on his page, right at the top of his page too, his banner, he's talking to a Nick Fuentes fan guy, and he puts that right on his banner, which is, pretty interesting. Let's see. Let's get into this. Where's the full clip? Right here, I believe.
James Fishback joins me now. Welcome. First time on the show. Great to have you.
Thanks for having me, Holly. Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay,
Thanksgiving
we only have...
let's start off with the obvious question. Why? Why now? Would you like to...
We only have one ear that works.
I'm running for governor because sadly Ron DeSantis can't run for a third term. I wish he could. I wouldn't be in this race. I'm running for two reasons, Holly. I want to keep the ball rolling. Governor DeSantis has given us an incredible track record to build on, whether it's education, health, a 50-year low in crime. We got to preserve that. And then number two, this is the number one issue that Floridians are talking about, is affordability. How, as how can I make your life more affordable to get a great paying job, to buy a home, to raise a family, and then when it's all said and done, to retire with dignity. That's why I'm in this race, to succeed Ron DeSantis as a Republican.
How do you do that?
Well, it's a great question. There's a lot to do there. I'll first talk about
how tall do you think he is?
When my parents bought their first home in 1996 down in Broward County,
I'd say under 6 feet.
Two different families. The price of the home was $104,000. Today, here in Pinellas or in Hillsborough County, you're going to pay $400,000 to $500,000. Well, what's changed? Well, we've got Blackstone, BlackRock, Airbnb, and foreign speculators coming into our housing market. On my first day in office, I'll tell them no. In Florida, homes are for families. They're not for speculators. When we do that, we can actually increase housing affordability and accessibility. Because look at the end.
Campfire Starter says it almost seems like he has the same speech coach as Vivek.
How do you stop companies from buying homes, though?
Well, you create a structure a disincentive for them to actually come in and speculate on our homes.
You've also laid out H-1B visas as a defining point between you and the person who seems to be leading in the Republican primary, and that is Byron Donalds. He has, seemed to soften his stance on that lately to say that he would consider getting rid of the visa program that brings in foreign skilled
I think Fishback made him change that.
Big priority for him, it doesn't seem, but yet it
made
seems
him
like
change his stance on that.
It's a huge priority for me because I visit schools all over the state. I was at USF a couple weeks ago meeting with students, and their number one concern is this job market. They get good grades, they study hard, they take on the debt, and they come out and there's no job for them. Why? Well, because we've allowed hundreds of thousands of foreign workers into our country legally via programs like H-1B and OPT. My vision for Florida is very clear. Qualified Americans in our state should be the first in line to get these jobs. And this is not simply because it's the right thing to do for them. It's the right thing to do for our state. If they want to have a job, they then can have a home. If they have a home, they can then get married. If then they're married, they can have kids. And that's the full arc of the American dream. My number one concern is for your kids, your grandkids. If you're a college grad listening right now, I want to help you get a great paying job because that is the foundation of a productive, self-sufficient life here in Florida.
Some of these corporate interests that you just named off, when you announced that you were running in Tallahassee, you said that Byron Donalds is a slave to some of these corporate interests. Could you not have made the same point?
Oh, Jesus, who fucking cares? Oh my God, he said slave and Byron Donalds happens to be black.
A derogatory
so stupid, so stupid. I hate this stuff.
Well,
so
look,
stupid.
I think what's derogatory is the fact that Byron Donalds has taken
What's up,
$30
JDL?
million of corporate money, the vast majority of it from out of our state to fund his campaign. It's no wonder why he's in the pocket of property developers who want to pave over every little inch of our state for the next strip mall or weed dispensary or liquor store. It's no wonder he supports the H-1B program. I've yet to meet a Floridian, whether it's here in Hillsborough or in Pinellas or my home county of Broward, who's pulled me aside, Holly, and said, would you please support the H-1B program? We want more foreigners to work in our state. That is a position that is forced upon him by his large corporate donors. My message to Byron Donalds is very simple. Give back the $30 million in corporate money. We don't even know really where it came from. We know it's out of state. Give it back so you can actually stand up for American workers. That's the right thing to do.
Well, again, you just made that point without using that term, so you could have originally done that, right?
Look, I said he was a slave to corporate interest. A slave, as defined in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, is someone who's controlled by someone else. He is controlled by corporate donors if he will not deviate from these corporate enforced positions to actually stand up for workers right here in Florida.
I love how he doesn't back up or apologize for that. Who cares?
Huge impact on workers. We're all trying to figure out exactly what that's going to be, and that is the AI, artificial intelligence, what could be a total revolution. There could be a difference of opinion on this between the Ron DeSantis belief on AI needing to be regulated at the state level and President Trump, if there are going to be regulations saying it needs to be uniform at a federal level. We're going to have AI Week in Tallahassee coming up here in a couple of weeks where they start to dive into this. Where do you stand on this issue? How regulated should AI be and at what level?
Well, it should be regulated at the state level, and the reason why is because we know our state best. Washington, D.C. has largely been the problem, not the solution to the problem. I'm a big believer in states' rights, and the closer that power and authority is to the local people who are actually being affected by those regulations, the more likely we are to get those regulations right. Here's my number one concern with respect to AI. Young kids being exploited by these artificial intelligence chatbots. We've all heard the stories. You've covered it right here at Spectrum. Young, impressionable boys and girls being told to do things, even so far as to commit self-harm against themselves because an AI-manipulated chatbot told them to do that.
How does a conversation with a robot get to killing yourself?
My number one concern as governor
is
to build on parental rights like Ron DeSantis has. That means creating a Bill of Rights for every single parent and kid in our state with respect to artificial intelligence. But the other part of AI that doesn't get enough attention yet are these data centers. They make a Costco look like a 7-Eleven convenience store. And I got to tell you the truth. What's happening right now in Tennessee and Pennsylvania and Georgia is they build these massive AI data centers, and what happens right away? The water supply becomes contaminated because there's so much energy coming out of it. The output.
Valley Hill Galaxy, welcome in.
We pay for it with higher than expected electric bills. Why? Because when the demand for energy comes up because of all the computers and server fans, and the supply of energy stays constant, what happens? Econ 101, the price goes up. So what have I said as my platform? As Florida governor, I will stop the construction of any AI data center that threatens to skyrocket your electric bills here in Hillsborough County, in Pinellas County, in Orange.
He knows
Polk,
the
wherever you
names.
may be in the state.
Hey,
I'm going to fight for you to make sure that these AI data centers, I'm all for AI, but
I love Polk, by the way.
Paying for their electric bills. And this is not hypothetical. It's already happening in Georgia.
Polk is very cowboy.
So if these
it's like cowboy Florida.
These big quantum computing places have to be built to keep up in the AI arms race. You're not saying don't build them. You're just saying we, the people, should not pay for it.
That's
Am I understanding you correctly?
That's exactly right. I am vehemently against socialism. I think far too often, though, socialism is ridiculed from the standpoint of random people benefiting from socialism. There's truth to that. I think a lot of illegal immigrants in our country have gotten a lot of free stuff. That is definitely textbook socialism. But I'm also against corporate socialism, corporate welfare. Elon Musk and Sam Altman are multi-billionaires. Their companies are worth nearly $1 trillion individually. They don't need Floridians from Tampa, from Lakeland, from St. Pete, Orlando, or my home county of Broward paying for their electric bills. That's why I've said, you want to build what you want to build, but don't you dare threaten our water supply or make us pay for it with higher than expected electric bills.
And finally, you respect and support both DeSantis and President Trump, correct?
I do.
So if, you've already got a Trump-backed, Trump-endorsed candidate in Byron Donalds, we may have one from DeSantis, we don't yet. So if you trust them and you appreciate their judgment, why not go with who they've endorsed? Why do you think you're the one, instead of who they may say?
Well, do you know who I trust the most, Holly? Voters right here in Florida. They will make the right decision. Our primary is on August 18th. And it's not just for Republicans. If you want to vote in the Republican primary, you can go online, change your voter registration on the DMV website. Even if you're an independent or a Democrat, the truth is there's a 90% chance, according to the betting markets, that a Republican will be the next governor of Florida. And if you wait until November, you're going to be stuck with a Republican versus a Democrat when the Republican's already been decided. My message is very simple to Floridians.
This is smart.
If you want a candidate who's going to fight like Ron DeSantis has for you and your family, and you want cheaper groceries, you want the ability to actually pay your mortgage and not have to pay that property tax bill at the end of the year, if you want great paying jobs to go to Floridians as opposed to foreigners, and at the end of the day, if you want to retire with dignity, vote for James Fishback for governor on August 18th. 2026 in the Republican primary.
I'll have to leave it at that because we are out of time. But
not
James
bad.
Fishback, I certainly appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me, Holly.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Likewise to you.
What else we got? That wasn't too bad. Let's see. Let's do one more quick one. The title of this: Is Netanyahu a war criminal? Did Israel commit genocide? My new ad.
Is Netanyahu a war criminal? Did Israel commit genocide? If you say either of those statements in public, you could be convicted of anti-Semitism. Criticizing a foreign government or any government is always protected under our Constitution. Our founding fathers fought and died for that right, and I'll never let anyone steal it from you. My name is James Fishback, and I'm running for Florida governor because Florida is our home, America is our birthright, and we can criticize whom we please.
Free speech is free speech, baby. I fucking love it. I fucking love it.
Is Netanyahu a war criminal?
I fucking love it. That's what I'm talking about. I don't even necessarily agree with that, but I fucking love that. Don't Stop Believin' says, I'd take this guy over any Muslim, says Don't Stop Believin'. Maggie says, Fishback fallen for America. Elite Rahab says, I'm a free speech absolutist. Absolutely. I'm absolutely a free speech absolutist. Hi. Come on. Shaka Doug was asking about you. Come on, Arya. Come on. Silver Wizard joining us. Ballyho Silver Wizard, nice to see you. Silver Wizard says, Ballyho, Mr. Rotella, there is not another place. There is no other place to watch the address to the nation. I appreciate that, Silver Wizard. Dome Stop says, yay, yay, Miss Fluffy Tail is here to flirt, says Dome Stop Believin'. and the chat goes wild for Miss Aria. Okay, let's watch. There's a movie coming to theaters starring Melania Trump. All about Melania Trump. Welcome in, Elite Domer Wokepotamus. Thank you for the raid, my friend. Let's watch the preview.
Go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Here we go again.
You can come in. Good morning. After our legacy will be that of peacemaker.
Peacemaker under the fire.
Woo! Those shoes? Don't get me started, girl.
Beautiful. Together with like-minded leaders, we have a voice. Is it safe?
It is safe.
Everyone wants to know. So here it is. Hi, Mr. President. Congratulations.
Did you watch it?
I did not. Yeah, I will see it on the news.
Wow. Exclusively in theaters January 30th. My goodness gracious. That looks good. That looks very, very good. Brad says, love it. And he's just talking about her shoes, guys. Total Horse Channel says, classiest first lady since Jackie Kennedy. I agree. Arm says, just how Melania thinks she's my baby kitten, says Arm. Sharon Sear says, I did not. Yeah, when Trump's like, did you watch me win? I did not. Why wasn't she watching? Says Shaka Doug. Habs says, I wonder who plays Epstein in that movie, says Elite Domer Habs. Geez, Habs. Let us have some fun, Habs. Aram says, in real life, I bet Melania has only watched 5 or less full Trump speeches. We've definitely watched more Trump speeches, like thousands more Trump speeches than Melania ever has. Yes, I agree. Elite Domer Florida Pat says, oh, Total Horse, you are right. Love her. Campfire Starter says, wow, she's got the whole package. Brains, bravery, and beauty. I love that, Campfire. Nicely put. Melania, will she finally get a Vogue cover, says JDL. JDL and all the tabloids. Okay, when we return, everybody, we're putting a cherry on top of the Candace Owens drama. What's up, Hungry Planet? I think I said hi. Just want to make sure. We're putting a cherry on top of the Candace Owens drama. We're going to watch her on Piers Morgan. We're going to hang out with that until maybe whenever a shot of the White House happens, we'll go to the White House. We'll go outside the White House. We'll have a little pregame for tonight's national address from Trump. The only place to watch the world go round, right here inside the dome, my friends, from a 40,000-foot view like we do. We'll be right back after this musical break.